In 1906, George Bernard Shaw coined up a very interesting term, conspiracy against the laity. What he meant is that many professionals try to pretend they possess special knowledge. They want you to believe that you will never be able to learn the same and you will never be able to become as proficient as they are. This video gonna explain you this is a bullshit and you can learn Elliott Wave technique by yourself and you will be able to confidently apply it in several months of deliberate practicing. This video is called Making It Simple, Mind Mapping the Harmonic Elliott Wave Theory. What is mind mapping? It's a modern visual way of explaining complex concepts by identifying separate ideas and show how they relate and interconnected to each other. I drafted that mind map of the whole Elliott Wave theory, and in this video I will explain you parts of the diagram. And if you want to get that PDF file, please send me email to castawaytrader@gmail.com and I will mail it to you. What are three main pillars of the Elliott Wave method? Patterns, fractals, and ratios. That's it, guys. And in this video, we will talk about each of those three pillars. First, we should talk about patterns. So market keep replaying the very same patterns again and again. And you may ask a question why we do that. And the explanation is simple, because we are humans and because we keep making all decisions emotionally, as we did in prehistoric times. In particular, all our decisions about buying or selling securities are partly or mostly driven by emotions, particularly greed and fear. We buy because we believe that price will go higher, and we sell because we believe that price will go lower. As you can see, we identify two different kinds of patterns, impulsive patterns and corrective patterns. And there are two main fractals which are combined together will form all the different patterns in the market. And the first fractal you should know about is ABC fractal. This is the basic building block which is a part of any other more complex patterns. And this is a beautiful example how our sentiments drive the price. First, we get a bullish action when bulls attack, and then when price goes too far, bears counterattack in reactionary move, and this is wave B down. And finally, when bears are failing to make a lower low, bulls counterattack again and they make higher high. And all you see here is a never-ending fight between bulls and bears, between greed and fear. And this is the most important fractal of the Elliott Wave theory, which is called 5-wave fractal. And you can see that it's just a bunch of ABC fractals we have just talked about. ABC up, ABC down, ABC up, ABC down, and ABC up. So you can count 5 ABC fractals combined together and they form that fractal, 5-wave up fractal. And many people ask me why we need to study those fractals. Because if you know those fractals, if you understand that one fractal follows another one, then you will be able to predict what will come next. Because then you count those 5 waves up, you know that ABC down fractal will follow. Then you know that you can sell your longs here at the top and you can short an expectation of a corrective ABC pattern. I talk in details about all the fractals in my video course, which is called How to Predict the Next Market Move with Harmonic Elliott Wave Theory, and particularly in section number 2, I explain in detail how ABC up and ABC down fractals work, and I show real-life case studies of those ABC fractals on charts of US indices and stocks. In section 3, I talk in details about the 5-wave fractal, and I explain in details that there are 6 specific rules that control the 5-wave up fractal. Those rules are followed by every 5-wave fractal, And if any of those rules gets violated, then it's a great alert for you that you have to change your count and you have to change your expectation and consequently your trading plan. This is another part of the diagram of that mind mapping of the Elliott Wave theory, explaining you what impulsive patterns are and how you are supposed to use them. So impulsive patterns are main vehicle of trends. They drive price into new territory, either up or down. So they are trending moves, they are structures of the trending moves. And they are subdivided into 5 waves. So every 5-wave move is an impulsive wave, it's a trending move. You can see here 5-wave up fractal, it has 5 waves up. And here you have 5-wave down fractal, so impulsive moves are not only in up direction but also in down direction. We have bear trends and bull trends. What's really interesting about the nature of those patterns, that they are of fractal nature. What it means is that inside those 5 waves up, you can identify several smaller ABC fractals. You have ABC of wave 1, ABC of wave 2, ABC of wave 3, ABC of wave 4, ABC of wave 5. But if you zoom closer, you will see that every single wave A up is another 5-wave up fractal of a smaller size or smaller degree, as we say. And in any single ABC, wave B is structured as a smaller ABC fractal. That helps you to pinpoint the exact point where a wave can be terminated. You do not need to wait until the whole 5-wave up fractal gets completed, but you can follow smaller fractals, 5-wave up fractals, inside that large 5-wave up fractal. You can follow those 5 waves inside of every single wave A or every single wave C in any part of that huge 5-wave up fractal. That creates a lot of trading opportunities for you. In section 4 of my course, I'm talking about the fractal nature of price charts. I explain how waves are subdivided into smaller parts called subwaves. I explain how bigger fractals are just combinations of smaller size fractals, and I explain you how to label waves and subwaves. Many people feel afraid of those symbols and letters, but there is no any magic behind them or rocket science behind them. It's just the way how you identify those waves, because every single wave inside that 5-wave fractal has its own character. You might have noticed that the strongest part of that 5-wave fractal is wave 3. It's located in the middle of the fractal and it is subdivided into ABC. This is when you have that feeling of the heart of the rally, ever grinding move up and with very shallow pullbacks. This is when you know that you should not counter trade that move. Now let's talk about corrective patterns. Remember, we have 2 main different kinds of patterns: impulsive patterns, which we have already discussed, and corrective patterns. If we look again at that main 5-wave up fractal, we can see that not all the waves move the price in the direction of the main trend. We have wave 1, wave 3, and wave 5, which push the price higher, and every new wave push the price to a higher high. But there are waves 2 and 4 which are temporary pullbacks in counter trend direction. In addition to that, inside every single wave 1, 3, and 5, there is a counter trend move in subwave B, which is another example of a corrective wave. And there are several distinctive patterns which corrective waves tend to follow. And I will explain every single corrective pattern in section 6 of my course. There is another very interesting question: why all those 5-wave fractals look similar even if we find them on different time frames and on different instruments, futures, stocks, indices, or cryptocurrencies? And the explanation is that those waves specific segments of that fractal relate to each other by specific ratios. And this is what we discuss in section 7 of the course. I introduce the notion of the Fibonacci numbers and how we can calculate major ratios, because Fibonacci numbers is the main source for the major ratios between waves in the 5-wave fractal and in corrective fractals. I explained how we can calculate those major ratios and how we can calculate additional useful ratios we will be using in following sections 8 and 9, where I explain how to measure and predict waves, corrective waves and impulsive waves. So section 8 is about measuring and predicting targets for corrective waves, and section 9 is about projections, how we can find targets for impulsive waves, because impulsive waves, waves in the direction of the main trend, relate to the preceding impulsive waves. So if we measure wave 1, we will be able to make predictions about where wave 3 may terminate. I used to offer my bestselling video course, How to Predict the Market Moves with the Harmonic Elliott Wave Theory, for $99.99 with some additional discounts. Currently it is available for $89.99, but I have just uploaded my course to my own website, and from now on it will be available for monthly subscriptions. There are 3 different options you can pick from. First is a quarterly plan, where you pay only $9.99 per month. Then there is a semi-annual plan, when you subscribe for 6 months and you pay only $6.99 per month. And finally, you can save a lot if you subscribe for an annual plan, where you pay only $4.99 per month. You can find more details about the course, read reviews of my students, and watch several videos for free at www.castawaytrader.com/education. And again, if you want to get that cheat sheet about the Elliott Wave theory and how those ideas are interconnected between each other, please shoot me email to castawaytrader@gmail.com and I will be happy to send it to you. Thank you for your time.